A lot of people are realizing the number they plan for is not the number they're living with now. The mortgage may be fixed, but the total cost around the home keeps moving after the decision's already made. That's the part that catches people off guard. The pressure didn't fully show up when they were touring homes or comparing rates. It showed up later, after closing, after the first tax, after the insurance renewal, after the HOA increased, after the repair nobody expected. So it's like signing up for something because the base price feels manageable, but then realizing the bill includes charges that only appear after you're already committed. The company still gets paid. You're the one ending up having to adjust to budget. And that's why this housing market feels so weird, so different right now, because there are now significantly more homes for sale than there are active buyers for many parts of the country. And for years, the message was simple, right? Not enough supply. But the reality people are experiencing now is more complicated than that. Inventory has been rising, yet affordability has not improved enough to bring buyers back at the same pace. So even with more options available, many households are hesitating now, longer now, before making a decision. And a growing number of people are noticing that more listings does not automatically mean more affordability. The monthly number still has to make sense. And for many people, for many households, it just doesn't. Now, it's similar to seeing something discounted, but realizing the final total still doesn't fit comfortability in the budget. The price may look lower, but the commitment itself, it still feels heavy. So for a long time, buyers assumed that if inventory increased, pressure would ease relatively quickly. But instead, what people are discovering is that the affordability challenge did not come only from house prices alone. It came from the full cost structure that surrounded ownership. So mortgage payments are only one part of this exposure. Property taxes, of course, can adjust. Insurance premiums can rise, as we see them often do. Maintenance costs can appear unexpectedly, and HOA dues can change over time. Each of those decisions is influenced by actors outside of you, outside of the household. Yet you, the household, absorbs the financial impact. So there's a growing perception that approval for a loan no longer guarantees confidence in the long-term payment. Being qualified does not always mean feeling secure. It's like being approved for a subscription that fits your budget today, only to discover the provider can change certain charges later. The agreement gives access, but it doesn't remove the future uncertainty. So when buyers evaluate a property, they are not only calculating the purchase price, they're also estimating the stability of the future payment. Because when that stability feels uncertain, hesitation, it increases naturally. And that hesitation, it's showing up in market activity everywhere. Homes are taking longer to sell in so many areas. Buyers are negotiating more frequently, and decisions, they are taking longer because households are trying to avoid surprises after the purchase itself. Now, many buyers are saying they want to understand the full cost picture before committing, rather than discovering changes months later. It's similar to reviewing the total cost of ownership instead of only the entry point, which is smart. The starting number matters, but the ongoing exposure, it matters more. Now, one of the reasons housing feels so different right now is that responsibility and control are not evenly distributed. The homeowner is responsible for the payment, but the multiple external actors influence how that payment evolves over time. Insurance companies, they adjust risk pricing. Local governments reassess property values. HOA boards determine dues and special assessments. Builders set pricing strategies for new developments. Lenders influence refinancing flexibility. And the household absorbs the combined effect of all of those decisions, which are all outside of your control. So owning can begin to feel less like locking a payment and more like accepting responsibility for a structure whose costs can shift at any moment. It's similar to locking in one part of an agreement while other components remain flexible. The contract feels stable, yet the total exposure, it can change. And as this realization spreads, behavior changes. Buyers feel less urgency than they did during periods when inventory was scarce and competition was intense. The fear of missing out becomes less powerful when households feel unsure about long-term cost stability. More buyers are taking additional time before making offers. Negotiations are becoming more common again, and some households are choosing to wait rather than stretch their budgets to a level that feels uncomfortable. Now, patience becomes a form of leverage when buyers have more choices available. The absence of immediate pressure allows people to evaluate decisions more carefully. And that shift influences sellers as well, because expectations begin to adjust when listings remain active longer. Some markets that experienced rapid demand increases earlier are now seeing larger gaps between sellers and buyers. Areas that saw strong population growth during the pandemic are adjusting to a slower pace of transactions. And a lot of people assumed demand would remain elevated indefinitely. But instead, what's happening? Affordability constraints appear to be limiting how quickly buyers can actually return. So when monthly costs rise faster than incomes, participation tends to slow. Buyers are not only evaluating the home itself, they are evaluating the sustainability of the payment over time. And that is why even modest increases in recurring costs can influence decision timing. Housing decisions are rarely made based on price alone. They are made on whether the payment fits into the future the household is trying to build. So this does not automatically mean prices collapse everywhere. Although there's a lot of talk about economic strife and housing collapse and economic collapse. But what everything does suggest right now is that leverage is gradually redistributing. Buyers in many areas now have more time to evaluate options than they did in recent years. And more time changes behavior. More choice changes negotiation dynamics. More caution changes pricing expectations. And a growing number of households are approaching housing decisions with a different mindset than they did just a few years ago. So instead of focusing only on qualifying for the purchase, they are focusing on whether the structure of the cost feels stable enough to live with long term. Because the real question is no longer just whether someone can buy a home. It's whether the payment still feels manageable after everything around the mortgage begins to move. And right now, that is the part many households are paying the closest attention to.